So, you want to film some actors, but how do you shoot them, and why do you shoot them that way? That is a question that every established filmmaker is at to find out for themselves. And that is what I'll be exploring in this video essay. Specifically, how different French filmmakers have chosen to shoot actors and why. Focusing on great French directors such as Jean-Luc Godard, Agnès Varda, Jean-Pierre Jeunet, and Claire Denis. But to examine these directors' choice of shots, we first have to define what the traditional types of shots are. Traditionally, the three common shots in films are the wide shot, the medium shot, and the close-up. However, filmmakers get to choose which types of lenses they use to achieve these shots. For example, a wide shot can be achieved with a wide-angle lens or a tight lens. The same for a medium shot, and the same for a close-up. A different lens will give you a different effect for the same type of shot, especially as you need to get a lot closer to the actors if wanting to use a wide-angle lens but get the same composition as a tighter shot. And we can often determine whether a lens is wide-angled or telephoto over how compressed an image is, and how wide its field of view is also. These differences might seem irrelevant to you, but they come from an important place: the French New Wave. Jean-Luc Godard was one of the pioneers of this movement, and was once quoted saying that his films were a reaction against everything that wasn't done. It was almost pathological or systemic. A wide-angle lens isn't used for a close-up? Then let's do it. And with that, let's look into how these directors actually shot their actors. Throughout Godard's films, he captured actors in a variety of different ways, depending on what the scene required. When characters were in motion, Godard would often film very close to them, with a wide-angle lens, such as when they're in a car, or going up an escalator. However, when characters were sitting and talking, he would consistently film them from a bit further away with a tighter lens. Similar to Godard, Agnès Varda had no fixed way of shooting her actors. She filmed them in whichever way that was right for the scene. She used very inventive camera movements when capturing them in motion, which often required her to get shots from further away and zoom in. However, when she could get closer to them, she did, often in clean singles or two shots, making sure they filled up the screen as much as possible. She used wide-angle lenses sparingly, but when necessary, in total contrast to our next filmmaker, Jean-Pierre Jeunet. Perhaps the only director on this list to exclusively use wide-angle lenses, Jeunet's shots focus primarily on the actors' faces, placing the camera so close to them that their facial features even sometimes get distorted by the lenses, pushing in or pulling out throughout different sequences. These movements are made much more effective and dramatic as a result of the lenses, which heighten the three-dimensionality of the space. A very unique style of filmmaking, but perhaps not as unique as the style of Claire Denis. Denis is known for portraying characters in very sensual ways, focusing not only on their face, but also other parts of their bodies. Their hair, hands, feet, legs, backs, chests. All of this is more often than not captured in tighter shots, with camera very close to the actors. Despite this, Denis has disputed that she only shoots actors' bodies, stating, "I never set out to shoot this or that part of the body. I'm not interested in the body, I'm interested in the presence, in that first impression you get upon seeing someone." Denis clearly has an intention behind her shots and how she wants them to be received, as does the rest of these directors. So let's ask ourselves, what effect do these shots have on the audience? By primarily filming characters from physically further away, Godard creates a certain detachment between them and the audience, making it easier to focus less on their personal conflicts and focus more on the political conflicts that he writes into his stories. Many of Godard's films were politically motivated, and he often used these long shots to socialize the frame and capture current political events in a way that illustrated his own reaction to them, often exposing his leftist ideology in the process. The closeness in which Varda filmed her actors really helps us to empathize with them and what they're going through. We feel the lack of distance between us and them, and feel physically and metaphorically closer to them because of it. Varda was interested in creating interesting and complex characters, inspired by reality, an interest which is truly evident from her types of shots. As Jeunet's wide-angle lenses make the audience more aware of each space, the audience really get a sense that we are in the same room as these characters. The push-ins are also very persuasive in increasing our connection to the characters, with the pull-outs clearly having the opposite effect as well. Jeunet has said that he chooses wide-angle lenses and warm colours to define his style as a director. This may be his intention in using these lenses, but the effect they have on the audience is quite impactful emotionally. Denis' sensual camera work creates a specific connection to the characters that not many other films are able to achieve. Focusing on the body, often so close to it, she masterfully captures that presence of a character that she sets out to capture. We see the wrinkles on their skin, their stretch marks, their imperfections. There is an undeniable closeness we feel to these people, and as a result, we get a better understanding of who they are and what they've gone through. So, to summarize, there is a variety of different ways filmmakers can shoot their actors. This is often based on the director's own interests and specific intentions with their films. Placing the camera closer to an actor does create a better sense of closeness, in my opinion. But that might not be the exact effect that every director desires at all times. These great French directors have chosen their shooting style based on reality, connection, style, and sensuality, using different lenses whenever necessary. They've shown that you can translate a feeling about a character into film by carefully choosing how you shoot them, and in the process have inspired endless generations of filmmakers to come. My name's Lee Boland, and I am one of those filmmakers.